is a way of life. It's not an end in itself. It focuses on the Christian faith. And through the initial long weekend where you go away and reflect on scriptures and pray together, you get going on it, but then you commit yourself with some others who meet regularly for prayer and for discussion as you seek to live out your vocation, your lay vocation or your ordained vocation, day by day where you live.
The whole purpose of Cursillo is to equip lay people to live out their faith and ministry in practical ways. And it's structured in such a way to give them support and encouragement on an ongoing basis.
I think it's a time to go and be with God, to be spiritually filled, and actually to go back to your own parish, refreshed and renewed in Christ's Spirit.
Cursillo probably isn't going to be for everybody, but I've seen a number of churches where perhaps a handful of people have gone on a Cursillo together. And the result of that has been they've become the beating heart of their local parish church, not doing something separate. They're there to support, to engage, to encourage, to work with the parish priest. But I've seen churches where there's now a heart of prayer, of people who are offering themselves for God's service in that locality, really enabling the local church to grow in its mission and its ministry amongst the people whom it's planted.
But Cursillo is not an end in itself. The key thing is enabling people and equipping them to live out their faith in practical ways in the environments in which they live their lives day to day.
My involvement in Cursillo has changed my practical Christian ministry because I'm now lay director of St Albans Cursillo. Having only been a Cursillista for just over 4 years, this was not a role I would have seen myself doing 6-7 years ago, but it gave me the confidence and the wherewithal to put myself forward when the vacancy was around.
Well, I've now started the reader training, lay reader training, and I don't think I would have done that without having been on a Cursillo.
We run a men's fellowship at our church, which I'm a part of. And in that men's fellowship, apart from talking about things that are to do with the development of your faith and your learning about spirituality, we have a tea morning every Sunday where we serve hot drinks or sometimes food, celebrate birthdays and so on, and it's run mainly by the men in the men's fellowship. And I'm a part of that, and I serve on that every Sunday.
Cursillo has changed my faith by making me, I think, a much more confident Christian. I think it's helped me see what Christians can do in the world, made me more confident in speaking about my faith, about Christ to others. And I've actually, since going on the Cursillo weekend, become involved in vocations, so helping others to deepen their experience of God and what God is calling them to.
I'm currently a church warden, but I have been past few years discerning ordained ministry because I feel, and others around, particularly those around me, feel that is where God is calling me, and it's something I would never have considered before Cursillo.
My Cursillo experience made me fall in love with Jesus in a completely new way, in a deeper way. My faith was completely transformed. I now lead baptism preparation courses, I trained as an evangelist, and I also lead a seekers group.
And I personally, as a direct result of my own Cursillo experience, after 7 years of looking for the right thing to do, ended up moving some 150 miles from the Midlands up to Scarborough in North Yorkshire to take up a management role with a church-based charity. Which I would never have dreamt of doing if I hadn't have been involved in Cursillo in the first place.
So as a parish priest, I encourage people to go on Cursillo, and I've found that it encourages them, enlivens them, refreshes them in their journey, in their spiritual journey. But I've also seen people go on to become pastoral assistants, hospital chaplains, lay readers, and I've seen some go on to be ordained as well.
I would recommend friends to attend Cursillo. Because of such an amazing experience for me, I'd love them to feel the love. Love doesn't seem the appropriate word because it seems much bigger than that, but to share the love that is shown to them on that weekend.
It's allowed me to be more confident in speaking to people about my faith. I'm quite a shy person, quite insecure, but going through Cursillo, it's made me more confident. I work at St Mary's Church, I'm a volunteer, I work on the shop. I also now give talks to school children about the church, generally about the history of the church, but also about the fact that it's not just a museum, it's a living, breathing, working family.
Cursillo is a great piece of equipment for the church at a time when statistics are quite gloomy. We've got an ageing population largely, numbers of Sunday attendance are dwindling, and Cursillo offers a glimpse of heaven. A glimpse of heaven where people are still basking in God's glory and knowing and feeling God's presence and being able to go home revitalised and invigorated by God's Holy Spirit. And it has an opportunity for people to see hope, and hope that yes, there are some days on our journeys that are not so good and are quite tiring, but then you get to the end of it and there is a real burst and glimpse of hope that the best is yet to come.